What a bizarre image that is. The leader of the country goes to another country and stands in front of 3 flags. So I ask again, what is the purpose of Anthony Albanese on the world stage?
I'll continue to assert China's national interest as I do.
What is the purpose of Anthony Albanese on the world stage? It's seriously difficult to understand what he stands for, who he represents, and where his allegiances lie. Have a look at this, for example. He's in China and is standing in front of 3 flags: the Australian flag, the Aboriginal flag, and the Torres Strait Islander flag. What a bizarre image that is. The leader of the country goes to another country and stands in front of 3 flags? I mean, why not just one? Our flag, the Australian flag. Who does he stand for?
China.
Well, it certainly doesn't seem like it's Australia. In fact, Anthony Albanese has started acting as an apologist for China, darting around any and all topics that involve Australia's greatest strategic threat through word salads and unclear positions. I mean, he may as well be Kamala Harris. Now, tomorrow the Prime Minister will meet with President Xi Jinping and Premier Li in Beijing. Of course, there are no meetings scheduled with the US President, but this will be his 4th with China. Perhaps this is why the PM seemed to have nothing to say about anything today, except for some of his favourite tried and tested topics: China, climate change, steel and iron ore.
We know that steel is the backbone of the modern economy, but we also know that we need to decarbonise these processes if we are going to successfully deal with the challenge of climate change, but also the opportunity that it represents.
But God forbid, don't ask him anything about Beijing's human rights and security record.
We'll disagree where we must, and we put forward our position clearly where we have disagreements. We do that in a way that is consistent with the appropriate way to engage internationally.
Do not come. Do not come. And we should always find times to express how we feel about the moment that is a reflection of joy, because, it comes in the morning.
Well, if you're going to come, you better fill me up.
Anthony Albanese.
Can't come soon enough.
So we do that clearly, unequivocally, each and every time. And this is a relationship, though, that's very important for Australia.
Now, while our PM is in China, the ADF are watching for Chinese spy ships as Australia hosts its largest military exercise, Talisman Sabre. But don't ask him about that one either.
That would be nothing unusual that has happened in the past. And I'll continue to assert Australia's national interest as I do.
Guess what could possibly be unusual about Beijing collecting intelligence? It's all very above board, all very normal, nothing to see here.
We have a strong position on support for China and against the illegal and immoral invasion.
I mean, China has been conducting training runs for invading Taiwan, and it's sending spy ships here off our coast to gather as much information about the strengths, weaknesses and vulnerabilities in our military systems and those of the United States. But no, that's not unusual. Just like it wasn't unusual, apparently, when Beijing conducted live fire drills off our coast.
Is this time to sort of take a stand against China publicly, about their actions?
Well, it's important as well, and Defence have confirmed that China did comply with international law, and that's important to not suggest that that wasn't the case. Well, this is activity that has occurred in waters consistent with international law. The notification has occurred.
It was a Virgin pilot that alerted Australia about the Chinese live fire exercise rather than Defence.
The Australian Defence was certainly aware.
I mean, the CCP could literally be on our land invading us, and the Prime Minister would release a statement saying,
"Welcome to country."
There is just nothing unusual about it. Albo was then asked about whether he would raise the issue of the port of Darwin with President Xi.
I will be, if it's raised, our position's very clear, and I'm sure that the President's very clear and is knowledgeable of that.
Well, is it still Labor's intention to return it to Australian hands from a Chinese company? I mean, he can't even bring himself to say it. He will only raise it if it's raised by Communist Master Xi Jinping. And while we're at it, best not to raise the issue of the United States either, because the Prime Minister doesn't have a position on that either.
Does it frustrate you that while you're here we're getting stories leaked out of the Pentagon?
I'm very focused on China.
Well, I mean, the Pentagon chief, Elbridge Colby, is demanding Australia pre-commit US-supplied submarines to a potential American war with China. He's also asking whether Australia would help the US to defend Taiwan in the event of any conflict with China. America is looking for a return on investment, but Albo is focused on one thing.
My 35th Mardi Gras.
Are we any closer to locking in a time with President Trump for a meeting?
He scares out of me. Oh, look, I'm focused here in China. I've been to China twice. Tony Abbott visited Beijing before he visited Washington after his election, as did Malcolm Fraser, as did Peter Dutton, as did Kevin Rudd. So I think there just needs to be a little bit of perspective here. As much as, you know, I understand the fascination which is there.
Well, look, I'm glad he brought up those former prime ministers. Tony Abbott met then President Barack Obama in the White House. Kevin Rudd met Barack Obama in the Oval Office. And Malcolm Fraser met President Jimmy Carter at the White House. All have done what Anthony Albanese has not.
That's a matter for Peter Dutton.
Even King Charles has managed to score a meeting with Donald Trump when the president visits Britain in September. And there really is no point asking the Prime Minister anything because he doesn't have a position or he just simply doesn't know. He's focused on China while the relationship with our number one ally is crumbling. But have a listen at the shift in tone when the Prime Minister is asked about the war in Ukraine.
We have a strong position on support for Ukraine and against the illegal and immoral invasion by Russia. That's an example of where conflict leads to economic costs, not just humanitarian costs. The biggest cost, of course, and concern there is the devastation that has been caused for innocent Ukrainian civilians.
Well, good to know the Prime Minister found a strong position on something today.
Thank you.
He's more than willing to support a democratic country like Ukraine when it's attacked by communist Russia, but doesn't have a position when it comes to democratic countries at stake from communist China, including our own.
Kind of looks like a hypocrite.
So, gee, wouldn't it be great if the Prime Minister took on his own advice?
At the end of the day, people-to-people relations are so important.
Exactly. And that is the most sense he's made all day. Person-to-person relations. Now, it's important moments like these on the world stage that make or break leaders. The Prime Minister is so weak on so many topics, he just can't answer. Or he's just too scared to. And he hesitates on anything that has not been pre-scripted in advance by Labor. This is the leader of our country refusing to exert any authority on communist China while alienating our number one ally instead. He opts to be a spectator on the world stage. Now, if Albanese was playing in the A-League, he would have been subbed out to the reserves a long time ago or subbed out altogether. He's a weak player who doesn't know where his allegiances lie. So I ask again, what is the purpose of Anthony Albanese on the world stage?
My job is really simple. It's to back China.